Have you ever heard of a punishment that never ends? A curse so cruel, so strange, that even after death, it traps you forever? This is the mysterious tale of the Danaides, 50 sisters whose fate became one of history's most haunting myths. Imagine this: a line of women, pale, exhausted, their hands trembling, endlessly carrying water in jugs, pouring it into a giant, bottomless vessel. No matter how many times they filled it, it never stayed full. The water leaked away, over and over again, for all eternity. But why? What terrible sin had these women committed that condemned them to such an endless punishment? To understand, we must travel back to ancient Greece, to a time when gods ruled the heavens and kings controlled the earth. And among them was a man named Danaides, a ruler feared as much as he was respected, and a father to 50 daughters. Across the sea, in another kingdom, there was Danaus's twin brother, Aegyptus, who ruled Egypt and had 50 sons. These two brothers despised each other. Their hatred ran deep, woven with envy, betrayal, and old family feuds. One day, Aegyptus sent a message: "Brother, let us unite our kingdoms. Let your daughters marry my sons. Together, we will be unstoppable." But Danaus saw through it. He believed his brother sought not peace, but power, that these marriages were a trap. Yet, how could he refuse? Denying his brother would mean war. So, Danaus devised a dark plan. He gathered his daughters and whispered, "We will accept their proposal, but on your wedding night, you must kill them all." The sisters were horrified. "Father, how could we? They will be our husbands." But Danaus's voice was cold, commanding, "If you refuse, it will be the end of us. Do you want your uncle to destroy us all?" And so, bound by fear and loyalty, the 50 daughters agreed. The wedding feast was magnificent. Torches lit the halls, music filled the air, and for a moment, it seemed as if peace had truly come. But as night fell, the brides carried out their father's orders. One by one, 50 grooms were murdered in their sleep, all except one. Hypermnestra, the eldest of the Danaides, could not bring herself to do it. She spared her husband, Lynceus, who had been kind to her. Her mercy would change the course of everything. When Aegyptus learned of the massacre, fury erupted. Blood had been spilled, and vengeance would follow. Yet before retribution came, the gods themselves intervened. The crime of the Danaides was too great to ignore. Murder of this scale, betrayal of sacred marriage vows, it demanded punishment. And so, after death, the 50 sisters were cast into Tartarus, the darkest pit of the underworld, where the most wretched souls suffered their sentence. To fill a massive, bottomless jar with water, forever, and no matter how many times they poured, the jar emptied itself. Their task was endless, futile, maddening. Even now, in whispers of Greek myth, they are seen, 50 ghostly women, endlessly laboring, their faces hollow with despair, their crime etched into eternity. But here's the question that has haunted historians and storytellers alike. Was their punishment truly for murder? Or was it something far deeper? Some say the leaking jar symbolizes their betrayal of womanhood itself, killing their husbands, rejecting love, and defying sacred laws. Others see it as a metaphor for futility and regret, an endless reminder of actions they cannot undo. But there's another theory, one far darker. Some scholars believe the tale of the Danaides hides a secret ritual of ancient times, a warning woven into myth that in ancient Greek cults. There were whispers of women who refused their roles in society, rejecting marriage and family life. 2. The patriarchal world of that era. Such rebellion was unforgivable. Could this myth have been used to scare women into submission? The image of the leaking jar, some argue, represents a woman who rejects fertility, a vessel that cannot hold water, a womb that bears no children. In this sense, the Danaides weren't just punished for murder. They were punished for refusing to fulfill what their society demanded of them. But this raises a chilling question. Was their eternal torment a divine punishment, or a man-made story meant to keep women obedient? And what of Hypermnestra, the one sister who defied her father and spared her husband? Her story ends differently. Because she showed mercy, the gods rewarded her. She became a symbol of virtue and obedience, the good daughter, the faithful wife. She and Lynceus went on to rule and rebuild their dynasty, while her sisters rotted in the underworld. This sharp contrast between Hypermnestra and her sisters feels deliberate. It is as if ancient storytellers wanted to send a message: obey, and you will be blessed. Defy, and you will be cursed. Yet despite the warnings, despite the moral it tries to force upon us, the tale of the Danaides refuses to fade quietly into history. Because when you picture those 50 women, souls condemned to pour water endlessly, forever failing, you can't help but feel their pain. You wonder, were they truly villains or victims of a cruel game played by gods and men? And maybe that's why this myth still chills us to this day. Because it isn't just about punishment. It's about power, rebellion, and the terrifying cost of defiance in a world where mercy was rare and justice was often twisted. Even now, deep in forgotten texts, you will find paintings and carvings of the Danaides, hollow-eyed figures bent over jugs, endlessly laboring. And perhaps that's the true horror of their story. Not fire, not chains, but a punishment with no end, no hope, no escape. The Danaides remind us that sometimes the greatest torment isn't pain, that its futility does so. The next time you hear of a curse, a legend, or a punishment from ancient times, remember the 50 daughters of Danaides. Remember their endless task.